Hello, everyone. Today we are going to play a solo game of Praga Caput Regni. I don't know if that is a proper pronunciation, and also is a horrible accent, by Vladimir Succi. This is what some have called the Euroist Euro game around, and that's because it's a lot of things. So this is the massive board that you get to play on. It takes up the good portion of a table, and it's got a lot of pieces. It's got these cathedral and um, hunger wall and bridge cardboard like standee pieces that you can put together to have sitting on the board as well, though you don't technically need to have these. The board has these items printed below them if if you don't want to. And then it's got this wheel that actually turns. This is the action selection wheel, and this wheel has a cube that once it hits this point, the board has a hole in the bottom, and the cube will drop into the hole, locking the wheel as a notification that the round is complete and you need to move on to the next round. And then you go through a whole rotation again. And depending on how many players you have, you're going to have X amount of rotations, and basically it maths out so that each player gets a specific number of turns in each game. I'm going to do a very quick overview of the game. It's actually, despite having a ton of symbols and a very busy looking board, it's actually a pretty straightforward game that just has a lot of stuff and a lot of options. But how the game plays is incredibly simple. So the game takes place in Prague, and it takes place during a period where King Charles IV was kind of building up Prague to become the central place for his empire. So thematically, we are people that are working towards construction of this cathedral, construction of this hunger wall, and construction of this bridge. And along the way, we are going to gain new technologies and bonuses and eggs. And the reason that eggs are in this game, and I feel like this is really the only thing that's fun and worth pointing out when talking about this game, is eggs are a very important component that are required for certain items along the King's Road here and for constructing the bridge, and then are also worth victory points at the end. Is that legend has it that the reason that this bridge has remained intact for so many years, despite, I believe, there was some flooding or there was some bad stuff that happened that caused a lot of damage. The rumor is because eggs were uh, smashed in with the mortar that was used to construct the bridge. So eggs are a very important component as we go along the King's Road and ultimately try to make the bridge. If you want, you could completely ignore this aspect while you're playing the game. And yeah, so real quick, I'm just going to go over the basic actions for people that don't know this game, and then we're going to get started. So the basic actions are actually pretty easy because everybody has an action board that has two purposes. One, it is a reminder as to what the actions are and what these windows are for. But there's actually upgrade tiles that you can place on top of the individual actions to make your action a little bit more powerful. Basically gives you a little bit of a bonus, something that you can do when you take that action versus just the standard. But this makes it easy to discuss what all of these actions are. So when it's your turn, you're going to look at this action wheel and you're going to get to take one of these tiles, and each of these tiles has two actions on them, and you're going to pick one of the actions to play. And along this wheel, there are bonus icons. So if I were to say, take this action tile here, I would have the opportunity to pay a gold to get an egg. And then I'd be able to also either take this action or take this action. Any of the actions that are in green are free to take. These tiles don't cost anything, but you'll notice that anything in the red is going to cost you some gold. And then if they stay on the wheel long enough that they rotate into this blue area, they're going to be worth victory points when you take them. Along the wheel, the bonus actions that you'll get when you take an action tile are either spending a stone or spending a gold to create an egg. Sometimes it's just straight up getting a stone or gold or two gold, two stone. And then there are these white windows that you can get. And then finally, there are these spaces that have S and crown. And what those are for is either you can get the bonus victory point here, or if you are taking an action that is paired with any of these tile actions, like say, for example, this action tile lets me build a building. This S I could take as my bonus, and that's going to allow me to build one of these far right tiles that have S's on them. If I do not take the action tile in a space that has that S, I am not allowed to build one of these special buildings. Or I guess these are walls, and then this is just an action upgrade. But I'm not allowed to take these tiles, even if I can afford them, unless I'm taking it in a space that actually has the S. As far as the main actions themselves, you have these three actions, which are tied to these tiles here. Again, all of these yellow tiles are just upgrade tiles, so you can buy one of these. Well, they're free, basically. You just take one of these upgrade tiles and plop it onto the applicable space. So like if I took this one, I would plop it onto the bridge action section, and now when I take a bridge action, I'm also going to get 2 victory points. So those are pretty simple. The walls can be built. They're going to be any combination of gold and stone. And the walls are tiles that actually get placed around the outside of your action tile here. And these actually can be rotated. And you're going to see in a minute how orientation of placement of these tiles can be important sometimes, because some of these tiles have little bonuses and things on the sides that if you can line them up, you're going to get free stuff. And then down here are buildings that are typically just worth various amounts of gold. And these are going to get placed into the city area down here. So basically, each of these hexes is a spot where any of these can go. There are these plaza tiles that are scattered around the board. And because we're technically set up for a 2-player game, there's actually a couple of buildings that are already out to kind of give us a place to start if we want to. And basically, when you take one of these tiles, you'll just pick a spot that you want to put it. And there's a kind of little game going on here where if you can completely surround the entirety of a plaza, then whoever has ownership, basically, who has the most like ownership cubes on these tiles, will get the benefits here. And those are things like this tile that has this little square on it. So actually, I think that's the only one. So even though I bought this tile, I don't get ownership within this area, but I'm kind of helping close it off. But if I were to say take this tile, I would place it down and I'd put one of my colored cubes on it, and that would give me a stake on that plaza. And then basically, whoever has the most cubes in a plaza when it's fully surrounded is going to get everything that's shown on the item, which could be victory points, bonus items, gold, whatever the case is, eggs. And then whoever has the second most gets to pick one of the bonuses. So that's cool. When you place these, you can pick where you place them, and they're going to have bonus items that you're going to get in green. They might be worth additional victory points. This crown in the orange means that this is worth a victory point for each building within the plaza. And then sometimes you're going to want to line these items up with where you see them elsewhere on the board or with other tiles, because those are actually going to give you these bonus tiles. So for example, if I were to have taken this tile, bloop, I would probably want to place it like this. And because I have 2 of these sides touching, I would actually get 1 of these blue bonus tiles. If I were to ever do something that would make it a complete circle, right? I put like a third one down, even though this isn't a valid placement, but if I had done something like that, I would actually get 2. So there's a possibility of me to get 3 total, basically, out of one of these. So that's kind of cool. And then, because this has a little crown in orange, this is going to give me 1 point and 2 points, because there are 2 points or 2 tiles ultimately within this plaza area. And then the tile itself, of course, gives me a bonus of 2 victory points, and then it's also actually going to let me upgrade my like mining thing that I'll explain in just a moment. So that's how those work. Some of these spaces you can spend an additional money or so to place the tile down, and you're going to get the victory points that are shown there as well. And that's really it. it's that simple. It's just what do you want to buy? What can you afford? Where do you place it? There's just a lot of options. These symbols refer to the cathedral and the hunger wall. So if I were to buy a building that has the red cathedral symbol, and typically these buildings are always going to have the red cathedral wall, and the walls are going to have the hunger walls. That's going to indicate that I get to actually move, my cube to the left or to the right of the applicable wall on this bad boy. And this is a whole mini game in itself that you're going to play, where you're going to be trying to get your cube as far up and as far to the right, or as far up and as far to the left as you can to get the most victory points at the end of the game. And you'll notice these bonus tokens here are going to be worth a variable amount depending on where my cube is. So if I had, say, 4 of these red bonus tokens, if I never move this cube, they're going to be worth nothing. Whereas if I get them all to the right, they're each going to be worth 4. So a lot of little things to consider here. The other 3 actions that are available are the bridge action, which basically just means you're going to get to go along the King's Road here. When you go on the King's Road, like maybe my first stop here, I'm going to have the option to either get 2 stone or 2 gold, or if I have an egg, I can spend that to upgrade my gold or my stone mining. And then, if I were to go to this spot, I could spend a gold to get 4 victory points, or I could spend an egg to get a golden window or upgrade my book. And we'll just follow that all the way up until we actually are starting to build the bridge, which has some cool benefits as well. And then the last 2 actions are either upgrading and getting one of the applicable items, stone or gold, or actually doing like the full mine action to get all of the benefits on your board here. So on the player board, you're going to notice that I've got my gold track and my stone track. So if I were to do the left side of these actions, I would get 1 gold or 1 stone, and I would get to move my cube for the applicable item 1 to the right. And if I keep upgrading this and moving it to the right, when I actually take the right side of this action instead, I get everything that is seen to the left of the cube, which means I would get 7 gold, an egg, and 2 victory points, right? Or I could get like 6 stone, upgrade my book, and get a victory point. So that's very important because we're going to need gold and stone to build things. When we get to a certain point where like my gold is more than 6, I'm gonna have to boot this cube out of the way. When I remove this cube from its spot, I'm gonna get the applicable item. This is gonna be an upgrade on my book track, and this is gonna be giving me a golden window, which I'll explain in just a moment. So we want that. We want to upgrade, or we want to save up enough items to get those, because those are good boosts that are going to give us like technology benefits. And also, it's going to give us cubes, and we only have 2 free cubes to start, specifically to be used for these buildings. So if I don't get the cubes off of my board in this way, I'm not going to have more cubes to get ownership in the plazas. As soon as we have a cube hit one of these spaces, we're going to get to pick one of these bonus tokens here, and these will actually slot into the far left, and that's just an extra item that you'll get when you do that production action. So those are cool ways to get some extra goodies, some extra victory points. And then if you upgrade it all the way to the right, there's this seal, and you get to place one of your cubes onto one of these endgame seals. And these endgame seals will just be straight victory points, or they might be, you can spend a stone for 2 victory points, so you'd want to have a bunch of stone and you'd cash in on that. And then you'll notice that these require you to turn in either 1 or 2 white windows in order to place your cube on this endgame seal. The other main use for these windows is you can spend 2 white windows to bump your cube up a space on any of these items. Bloop. And you'll notice if I ever need to go up to the next applicable wall, that there is a bit of a payment I got to make. So the first jump up is going to be a stone and a gold. The next is going to be a stone, or 2 stone and a gold. So you got to be ready for that. And then any of these times that you see an arrow, you can kind of think of that as like it's ice, right? Like if I were to like go bump, this would go bloop, and I'd plop up there as long as I could pay the price. And then anything that I land on, I would immediately get that benefit. So that's how that works. And then the gold windows can either be used in pairs or combined with the white to just be able to take an extra action. And since in the entire game of Praga, I believe each player is getting like 11 or 12 total actions or something like that. Maybe I'm low on that. Maybe it's like 16. I want to say it's only like 11 or 12. Um, Getting free actions is a lot. That means a lot. So you want to cash those in. At the end of your turn, you're not allowed to have more than 2 windows of any kind. So you're going to want to end up spending them anyway. Looks like I locked some things. And then I think the last thing I need to explain is what these tracks do on the right here. The book, anytime that you land on any of these, we have these technology tiles. I'm going to get to draw 3 of these and pick one. And those are typically going to be like passive bonuses that I'm going to get through the rest of the game. Or I think once we get to like 3 or 4, they'll be like one-time mega boost kind of things. And then anytime you see this hat icon, which you'll also see on these upgrade tiles. So if I buy it, if I get an upgrade tile as well, I get to boost this hat column up. And basically at the end of the game, we are going to multiply where my cube is on this book track times whatever the victory point value is of my cube here. And I'm going to get that many points at the end of the game, right? So if I made it this far, it's worth 2 victory points. I made it to 4, so that's 8 victory points. So it has the potential to be really crazy if you're like all the way to the top. But a lot of the unless you're really going hard on these, it might net you only a few points. It can sometimes be hard to even get up to where it's even going to be a point. A lot of that's going to be dictated by, did you even upgrade any of these? This is one of those games where there's a lot of things to do. You're going to want to do all of them. You're not going to be able to do all of them. So you have to make the choices the best you can. And with that, we're going to play the game. So Praga has a built-in solo game that is essentially just playing the game by yourself without really any changes. You just have to play it within X amount of turns, and the goal is to get like 140 points. And that's basically it. Considering that this game doesn't really have a huge amount of interaction, the solo game doesn't play that much differently. The only thing that you're really missing is obviously if somebody ends up taking the action tile that you really need, or if they end up building or taking one of these tiles that you really wanted, and then of course, if they end up putting it in a spot or like, claiming a plaza that you really, really wanted. We're actually going to play an alternative solo mode. And the solo mode is against an AI called Peter Parler. We have 5 solo cards here in this deck, and basically what we're going to do is we'll take a turn, and then Peter's going to take a turn, and we're just going to flip his AI card, and we're going to take a look at what he's going to do. And like any good AI, we don't have to really put forth any effort. He's just going to shuffle a few things around, maybe take the tile that we were hoping to use, and we move on. So to start, we'll shuffle this bad boy up. He has 3 cubes that you just put randomly on one of these tiles. And basically, if when we draw the card, say he decided to do the build a wall action, what he's going to do is he's actually just going to throw this tile that his cube is on in the bottom of the deck, and then the tile or the cube would move to the next one. And that's all that does. And then obviously this has to be placed on the board, and that's why his little dude is out here. And what actually happens with this is he'll place an item, and then he's actually going to bounce around all of these plazas based on the price here, and I'll explain that when it happens. And that way you have some kind of a semblance of interaction of another person placing tiles down that gives you a little bit more freedom and helps you to maybe try to close some of these out. But that's really all he does. You do have to have an alternate player board when you're playing with him because he will actually upgrade these tracks. The only reason he's doing that is so that if he ends up beating you to these seals, he's going to claim those endgame seals. But otherwise, you don't really need to have anything other than just like the cubes and whatnot. You could really just have like a piece of paper that keeps track, or I don't know, do it on your own board or something. But that's it. So let's play the game. I very much enjoy this game. I actually just got this game, a physical copy, a few months ago for my birthday. because I had played it on Tabletop Simulator solo and introduced some friends, and everybody really enjoyed it. And I've had a chance to play it both solo and with a few groups of people in person, and it's just a delightful game. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to make a complete fool of myself, because my brain doesn't work quite as well when I know I have to explain everything that I'm doing. And this game can sometimes require you to calculate best you can. So what we're going to do is this arrow is lined up with a 2-player game. We are going to spin all the way around until the cube would catch itself, and then this turn cube counter is going to move to this spot. And then once this arrow is touching this little asterisk star here, all of these tiles are going to get reset with era 2 tiles. That'll be a little bit more expensive, a little bit more powerful. And then basically, once we have done 3 full rotations of the wheel, the game is just going to be over. And it comes quicker than you think. So, without further ado, 20 minutes in, let's play. So to start, what do I want to start doing? That is the question. So these are the only 2 free tiles as it stands. You're going to start with 2 gold and 2 stone. And none of these are a bad idea. This would just give me a victory point every time I do the wall action. And if I can line this up, I can potentially get some victory points. If I do this bridge action, that gives me... I know I'm going to be doing this. And this is lined up with the S. I think let's do that. That's what we're going to do. So I'm taking this tile. I am going to utilize the bonus of being able to take a special tile. I'm going to do the upgrade. We're going to take this one. And this is just going to get placed here. And this little asterisk is reminding me that I need to move the hat up. And now, when I take this action in the future, I'm always going to get 2 victory points. And it's as easy as that. We're going to rotate the wheel. Oops. Things should not have done that. And then the tile just always goes at the top. And then that was my turn. It's as simple as that. So now we're going to see what Peter Parler is going to do. So he is going to take a look at... Oops, I needed to... put a new tile out. So he is going to actually take this tile and put it away. If I drop this tile, because we're playing in the mod, into that stack, it's actually going to shuffle the whole thing up, and it's supposed to technically go on the bottom. So I'm just going to throw these to the side for now, just to keep that from happening. So he's going to do that, and then he is going to upgrade that, and then he is going to take the 3rd action. So we can just put it there. Bloop. And now it's my turn. Simple as that. So now I have an option. I could potentially build a building, and then also my bonus would be to get an egg for a gold. Now I only have 2 gold, and I doubt that there's anything that I can build and do the egg. Yeah, these are all a little too expensive, so I'm not going to concern myself with that. But I could potentially get a stone and actually just do another upgrade. And one thing that I've always thought of doing that I've never done is spending my initial actions upgrading my actions, so that then the rest of the game maybe I get a lot of benefits. So this is if I decide to build a building, I can spend a gold to get 2 stone. This is that I can spend a stone to get a white window, which is pretty useful. This would just give me a victory point when I build walls, and then this would give me an extra stone and a victory point. Oh, not that these aren't attached to S's, though, if I wanted to do that. A part of me thinks that I should do that, even though I do obviously want to start upgrading these as well. But a part of me thinks that it might be interesting to do it this way. Let's have to look at all of the things. Yeah, let's you know what? Let's do this. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to get a stone. Bloop. And then I'm going to take... Oh, no. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to take the upgrade action. And I'm going to take this action so that when I am doing a wall, it will give me an extra victory point. And now I have a weird decision I have to make that is hard to kind of plan ahead. But I have, similar to how I showed with the blue bonuses, a corner piece for these red bonuses. So if I were to get either an upgrade tile or a bridge tile that could align with this, I could get bonus tokens. But then also, if I get something that would align with this thing, I can get 2 victory points. So for example, if I were to take this wall, and I built this wall and placed it here, these are aligned, which means I'm going to get a white window and I'm going to get 2 victory points. So I have to kind of think about what I think is going to happen, right? Like, do I do something like that because I think I'm going to get a tile that's going to have a red piece there, or do I think it's actually going to be a wall piece? As you can tell, like this actually has a couple of the red pieces on it. So I think I'm going to do it that though. I'm going to keep it there. And then again, this bad boy is going to move up, and that's my turn. We're going to move the wheel. Oh, I did this again. I'm going to have to be careful about that. And you'll notice that there is a gap here that kind of speeds the wheel along. So if that happens, you got to just hit it again so that you're always putting it in the top there. And then we go back to Peter. So Peter is going to move. He's going to upgrade either his stone or his gold, depending on which I have more of. And I am tied. So in that case, he is actually, I need to double check what he does. All right, that's what I thought. So he actually will increase on both because mine are equal. So he's getting a big bump. Don't love it. And then what's seen on the right is if he were to reach the end with the seals, it's telling which seal he would claim. But otherwise, he's going to take the first tile, and we're going to move on. So we know it's going to go there. Bloop. And now it's my turn. So we're moving along. Oh, I need to remember to replace things. So I do have enough stone. I can actually build any of these walls. So that's potentially something worth doing, especially since I'll actually get a bonus victory point because I just upgraded that action. Though I suppose if I wanted to keep with my trend, I could upgrade again, and that could be decent. I'm not sure. Part of me is not sure how much I want to do that, though, either, because the Era 2 tiles come out, and they make actions pretty good, plus they'll move your head up double. But I don't know. Let's see. I think I do want to do one of these. And I think... So I technically have an option of building a wall with a special. I'm going to have to pay a gold, though, to take that action tile. But I could technically do that, and that would give me this, which would give me the gold back and actually upgrade my mining. But a part of me is wondering if I want to take this one, because this gives me 2 victory points, and it ups my book, which would give me a technology, and I know that I can slot this right here, which is going to give me the window and the 2 victory points. So even though that's going to eat up all of my stuff, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take this action tile. This is going to give me a bonus of a gold. So, bloop, I'm at 3, so that's nice. And we're going to do the build a wall action. We know that my build a wall action gives me a victory point. Look at that, I'm on the board. Pretty sure I'm supposed to hit 140 victory points to be considered a good score. Spoiler alert, I don't think that's going to happen, but we play for fun. And then I'm going to have to spend 2 gold and 2 stone to get this bad boy. So I know that I'm going to place it as such. We'll line that up. And that's going to give me a window and 2 victory points. So look at that. And then we will get ourselves a window. Save that. And then I'm also going to get to move up on the book track. That means I'm going to get a level 1 technology tile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 3 of these, and we're going to see which of these we want to take. So this is that anytime you get gold as a bonus on the wheel, get an extra gold and a victory point. Anytime you get a victory point as a bonus on the wheel, get an extra victory point. And anytime you get a stone on the wheel, get an extra stone and a victory point. Well, literally all of these are great, and they kind of even out and are the same, and it's anybody's guess as to what you're going to end up taking. So I'm not sure that there's a right answer, to be perfectly honest. Let's just take... Let's do the one that's I know that like doubling victory points is decent, but let's do this one. Let's do that. If I take gold, if I get like, you know, like I just did, then I'm going to get an extra gold and a victory point. That's pretty good. And then all we do is we just put these back in the stack. And then technically, you know, if somebody else hit it, they would draw the top 3, but the AI is not going to touch any of this stuff. So technology 1, done with. And that's my turn. And that was actually not too shabby. Let's go back to Peter. He is going to, I keep forgetting. He is going to take this wall tile. We're just going to put it here until we got to figure it out. And he is going to up. He's already 3 away. And then he's going to take this first tile. And that's his turn. The AI, quick and dirty. Okay, so what we want to consider is I'm poor, very poor. Like I could technically say make that and like align it there, and that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But is that worth my time? I don't know. For reference, this is all of the endgame scoring. Basically, the first thing you do is you look at if there's any incomplete plazas and kind of give out the bonuses accordingly. Then we'll do that multiplication of book times hat to see what points we get. We'll get all the points from the cathedral and the wall and those bonuses. And then depending on how many wall tiles you get, you'll get victory points. So it's good to, if you're going to build walls, at least build 3 because it's going to be worth something. But if you build more, it just gets exponential. These are the seals and endgame things, and then actually having leftover eggs can be quite lucrative as well. So I probably am going to want to at least get 3 out to get 4 points, though getting even just 1 more is a 6-point jump, so that's pretty good. But do I really want to spend the action to be completely zeroed out? Let's say I took this. I would want it to go here, which would give me this bonus, but then I would have to make sure that the next wall tile went here, which isn't like an impossible thing. But it's just not necessarily giving me anything right now. That's kind of the problem. I don't think I want to do that. I think what we are going to do is I'm actually going to take this, which will be the 2 stone for the bonus, and then I'm actually going to do the get a gold and upgrade my item here. Now this does not count as me getting a gold for a bonus. It has to be off of the wheel. But I am upgrading this so that if I do end up doing the production for my gold, I'm going to get more things. And I really need to start bumping these up. So as unexciting as it is, that is my turn. And then we're going to go back to Peter. He is going to do his first build. So let's take a look at how that works. So his cube is on this. So it's going to move to the right for starters. He's going to take this. Now, if he had taken one of these tiles that had these bonus pieces on them, you would have to make sure that they aligned with any that were on the board, if applicable. But what we're going to do is we're going to look and see where is he located. So he's in this plaza. So these are the 3 available spots that this can go. And then this doesn't have a blue piece on it. If it did, it would basically need to be oriented so it touched that. But since it doesn't actually matter where this goes. We can just choose. So I'm just going to plop it here. And then that's it. He doesn't get any victory points or any of these goodies. He's just putting a thing down for us. I suppose you probably could give him victory points and kind of see what that looks like to compete against him. I'm not sure how that might balance out, but could be fun. And then we got to rotate him. And that's going to be based on how expensive this was. So this was worth 3 money. So he's going to move 3 spaces. And we're basically just going to go around hopscotching these plazas. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So the next time he builds a building, he is going to put the building basically either here or here, which is good to know, actually, because maybe I want these items. So if I were to say be able to build this tile that has the cube placement on it, and I put it here, and then he ends up putting an item down, then I would get it, assuming that this wasn't worth more. Whatever he puts isn't worth more than this, which is 4, because if he has a cube and I have a cube, the tiebreaker is whoever spent the most money. And then well, most money in stones, whatever it comes out to. And if there's a tie there, then everybody just gets everything, and it's a win-win. So that's something I can consider. Stuttering. Anyway, and then he is going to take the second, which is this. And that's his turn, and now it's my turn. And now you'll notice if I were to take this, I'm actually going to get a victory point because this has stuck around for a while. A part of me is wondering, though, do I actually do this action, which gives me another window that I could potentially use to at least start making some kind of movement? I also probably want to keep a lookout for any of these that I can actually, that are going to give me the movement on these items. So let's take a look. So I actually kind of have stuff now. I think I could make a lot of these. I can make any of these walls if I really wanted. And I can't afford any of these unless I were to do this. That is not aligned. Yeah, that's not going to work out. So probably don't want to do that. I think as boring as it is, I'm actually going to take this tile. I'm going to get a victory point because it's in the blue, and then I'm going to take the victory point as the bonus. And now I'm regretting already that I didn't take that for my technology tile. Because I'm going to actually do this. And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I had done before, where I'm going to bump this up one and get a single stone. And that's going to be it. I'm just going to take a double check at these walls to make sure that I'm not going to totally regret that. Because, like, technically I could have made... I mean, technically I could have made either of these walls. Okay, you know what? I'm regretting it. We're going to undo. So it was this one. Hold on. Undoing this victory point. I might actually want to take this wall. Yeah, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I want to take this wall action using potentially the S. I'm debating between these two. So taking this is 2 stones, but it gives me a gold and it boosts my gold up, which gives me another bonus thing on here. Plus I'm going to get a victory point just for doing that. And this is going to set me up for potential extras that we know I'm going to want. I could, if I take this, this will boost me up so that we know I'm going to get points off of my hat, which is pretty good. But this is also pretty good. And it's red. So I could actually place that here, and then we just know that I would need to make a wall placement that would align with that later. Okay. Which do I do? Knowing that if he does the wall action, he'll take this, and I kind of want this, but I don't think that there's a possibility of me being able to do both of these, especially considering the stone situation. Do I play the long game? I'm going to chance it. Oh, see, there's a wall action here, actually. We're going to chance it. That's not with stone, though, right? I'm going to chance it. We're going to build this one that his cube is on. That's what we're going to do. So I'm actually going to go down to one cube. One thing. I'm going to build this, which does give me a victory point. This gets refilled. And that's what he's going to build. This is actually good, too. And this would have made movement on the wall. But that's okay. And then we're planning ahead. I'm going to actually maybe move that over there. Because I think I want to do this. Because we know that I would potentially like to make this, right? Which would do this. Oh no, it actually win the line. I can't have the best of both worlds. Oh, that's a bummer. That is actually a bummer. That makes me sad. That makes me a little sad. Crap. That's okay. I think we can roll with it. I think we can figure it out. We'll figure something out. So we'll place it there for now. We'll still place it here for now. And that's going to bump us up too. So now we know, like, I'm at least getting 1 victory point off of this situation. Was that the best choice? I honestly don't know. I think I'm regretting not going here, but we're going to move along. Final card, he is going to build another building. So we know he's taking this one. So this cube is going to move over to here. I'm just going to refill all these while we're here. And this is going to be placed, and we have to make this connect if it's possible. So it's going to connect there, and that's it. This is worth 2, so he's going to bounce 1, 2. So the next building is going to go in one of these spots, and I'm not in a bad spot. I should probably consider getting a building placed here. I'm going to be able to get all of the benefits here, and these are not too bad. So that's pretty good. So we moved his cube to the next applicable spot, and he is going to take the first tile, which is totally fine. Oh, so that was the indication that this technically fell into the hole, and so this slid over. The mod does it all automatically, and now we're technically in the second round. And then once this arrow touches this point, all of these tiles are going to get switched out for Era 2 tiles. All right, so I'm going to switch them up. It's only 5 cards. It's so simple. What's my game plan, y'all? I was wanting to do this. I could do I haven't done any bridge actions, though. Maybe I actually move along this bridge. I don't have an egg to spend that would give me things, but I could get 2 stone here that would allow me to get another wall built. And we just know that that's something I'm going to want to do. That's just a fact of life. Does this fit in a way that, no, I think I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to have to either pick to get this bonus or get this bonus. Oh no, this actually would fit. Okay. So this is actually now worth something. And I could do this now. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we're going to take this. Now, huzzah, I'm getting gold, which means I get an extra gold and a victory point. So I'm actually getting 3 gold for this. 1, 2, 3. That puts me right there. I don't get to move that yet. I need to move to 6. But that's okay. Get a victory point. So this tech tile coming in, doing its job. I'm not taking the bridge action. I'm taking the wall action, which is going to give me another victory point. See, I got a little system going on here. And we're going to take this bad boy, which is going to use my last stone and a gold. And we're going to place this bad boy right here. And that's going to align so that I'm getting one of these bonus tokens. And it's aligning so that I'm getting the exact same combo I had before, where I'm getting a window and 2 more victory points. So I'm at 9 victory points, and I now have windows. And basically, what I could do is just immediately turn these in to bump myself up. Either which one of these I bump up, if I were to say never move them again, that's going to need 4 victory points at the end of the game. But it would ideally be nice to like shift over twice to get 5 victory points, then bump myself up, or shift over twice to get a bonus and then shift up, which would then be another shift. There's all kinds of stuff up here, though. That's actually kind of crazy. If I did bump up there, that wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to hold off on the bump currently, because I might be able to get a shift on those at some point. Anyway, that is my turn. We're going to go back over to Peter. He is going to take the... Oh, I always forget to refill these. I'm sorry. He's going to drop one of these down to the bottom of the stack. And then he is upping... Oh, he's getting close. And then he's going to take the first available action tile. And that's Peter's turn. All right, so let's consider what we think we want to do. This actually is probably what we want to do. I have some gold. I could get an egg. And then I could continue to upgrade my stone, or I could at least get a couple stone. That kind of feels bad, though. doesn't feel great. I do have enough money that I could get any of these though as well. I gotta take a look at what tiles exist here to see if there's something that would be ideal to take. So all of the building actions are going to cost extra. Luckily, like I could take this one and still be able to afford like all of these. I think this might actually be something I want to consider. And I really like this one because it's victory points. It makes me go up on my my stone mining, which I want to do. The problem is this does not have a spot for a cube, and I really want to place it down in this plaza to get these perks as well. So I kind of have to consider that. Now, technically, these two spots are open for this plaza, which is movement on one of the two, the wall of the cathedral plus 3 money. And then also 1, 2, 3 for this plaza, which is actually, I mean, it's a little bit better. And then this actually needs quite a few buildings to close out, so I don't think that's going to happen. This is a question. Well, what I could potentially do is I could spend one. Literally, I'm basically spending all my money if I do this. I could place this one in this area. Oh no, I would be spending all of my money. I wouldn't have the extra dollar. Oh, that's so lame. I was thinking like this would be really good to just like kind of put in this area to get the ball rolling, but all of these spaces require extra money to get the victory points on. So that's a bummer. I could obviously place it like here and get a decent amount out of it. But a part of me is thinking I probably want to do one of these, which gives me movement on the cathedral, would boost up my mining, or would just give me straight 4 victory points. I think the mining is what I'd want more, though. I think we're going to go with that. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this tile, and we're going to do the build action. And since I'm not making a special building, I'm going to get these 2 victory points. And then we're going to build this. So I had to spend a gold to take this tile, and then the building costs 3 monies. And we're going to place it right down here. And because it's got a space on it, I got to put a cube. And this is actually my second of, or my first of 2 cubes I have. So I need to actually get my resources up to get more. But this is going to do a few things. So for starters, I'm getting a bump up here. So that's great. Excuse me. This has the cathedral. So this is going to bump me to the right. So if I can do that one more time, I could get 5 victory points. That'd be pretty good. And then this plaza is completely surrounded. And I have the most in here. So I'm going to get all this stuff. So I'm getting 2 more victory points. I'm going to get a white. Oh, I didn't consider that. That's a bummer. I'm going to get a hat, which means now my things are going to be worth 2 victory points. But it's kind of a bummer. I actually am getting a white door or a white window. And I'm not allowed to have more than 2. So I'm actually forced to spend 2 of these. And I think I'm going to spend these 2. And I'm actually going to move up on this hunger wall instead, with the hopes that I'm actually going to be able to still hit this 5 victory points. So that's what we're going to do with my turn. Not a horrible turn. Got a decent number of things done there. And I think that's it. And we go back to Peter, who is also going to build this dude. This dude. He's, oh, nope, not that one. He's building fancy. We know he's building over here. We know it's got to connect. Bloop. And then we're going to take one of his available cubes. Bloop. And this costs 4 money. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So next he's going to build over here. Not too shabby. And then while we're at it, let's make sure we're not screwing anything up. And then he's going to take the first tile. And we got to do the double bump. We're moving things along. So now I'm poor as all get out. So as much as it sucks, I probably need to do production action. I don't think that I can sustain this any longer. Though a part of me is wondering, do I actually take this bridge action, which would give me 2 victory points because I upgraded. It would give me a gold plus another victory point because of my technology. And then the bridge action option, since I don't have an egg to turn in, could be to get 2 stone. And that kind of puts me back to an area where I can do something useful. I'm going to do that. I'm going to let this sit. I know it's a victory point sitting, but I'm going to get like 3 victory points off this. So we're taking this. I'm getting a gold, plus I'm getting another gold and a victory point because of my tech tile. I'm taking the bridge action, which gives me 2 victory points because I upgraded it early. And the bridge action is going to be bloop. I am starting in the first section here of the King's Road, and I'm going to take the 2 stone so that I have the potential to like actually build things. And that's my turn. Peter, I'm even again, so he's going to go up on both of these. Womp womp, and then he's going to take the first one, stealing some victory points. Oh no! All right, the arrow hit here, and in a 2-player game, that's what happens. Is once the arrows hit, all of these just got swapped out for Era 2 tiles. So let's take a look at what we got. So first of all, you'll notice that these tiles have a 2 hat symbol. So if I use these, my hat is actually going to go up 2, which is not too shabby because if I can get it to the top, it'll be worth 3 victory points on this column here that I really need to consider bumping up. And then anytime it would go up more, I would just get 2 victory points. So I have only done bridge and wall building. So pretty much all of these are available. So this would be 2 victory points for buildings, which I know I want to do more of. These are both if I take the stone-related actions, and it's either get a gold and a victory point or a stone and a victory point. And then this is just getting 2 stone anytime I do gold stuff, which is not too bad. Interesting. These are all... Oh, that's a double movement on the gold track. That's an egg. Eggs are good. Buildings. You can see like some of these just get really expensive. Like it's 5, but it's worth 3 victory points and a thing. This is pretty good. Is this? Yeah, I was freaking out. I thought that was an old one. This is actually really good. I basically need one of these. And I cannot do either of them, but probably want to do something like this to bump myself along here. The problem is I don't even have more than one of these tokens, but like even if you don't have bonus tokens at the end of the game, getting to the top of this is a big deal. It's a lot of, it's either 13 victory points or like 22 victory points. That can be, it can be a doozy. Okay. So I'm rather poor. I am rather poor. Doing this will give me what's my next options for the I could turn in a gold for 4 victory points. I mean, it's not nothing. It'd just be so much better if I had an egg. And nothing is really aligned with me getting an egg right now. I don't want to do any of these. Okay. If I wanted to do a wall, I couldn't. So that's settled. If I wanted to build anything, I could build this, which isn't horrible, but there's nowhere useful that I could really put it. I would want to put it up in these areas, but of course I'm 1 gold shy. This is so frustrating. It can be so frustrating. Let's do this. We're going to take this, which is going to give me 2 victory points. It's going to give me a window as the bonus. Not too shabby. And then we're going to do this, which is, again, very boring, but I'm just going to do the 1 move up, give me a thing. But because I reached this here, I get to pick one of these production tokens to slot in so that when I do a full production, which I'm going to be reaching that point here soon, it's an extra thing I'm going to get. So I want to consider that I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the one that gives me a victory point and a gold. We'll add that in there. That seems pretty solid. That's it. That's the turn. I still have the option to turn these in, but I really want to get these 5 victory points before I bump up. I really, really do. All right, Peter. He is going to take this upgrade tile and toss it aside. And then he's going to move his gold up. Yikes. He's going to be taking seals. And he's going to take the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. Back to me. So now I have some stone. I could have even more stone. Still don't have an egg. I haven't got any eggs. It's kind of killing me. I really need to fix that, I think. Still very poor gold-wise. I don't think I want to do any of that. So this, actually, I could build this. I could build this. Right, but the issue I keep running into is the fact that I can't put it in a good spot because I'm down a gold. That's what I keep complaining about. I know that it would be smart of me to do something like this, where even though I'm spending a gold, I would get 3 gold and a victory point, and then I could actually get a bunch of... You know what? Screw it. Let's do that. I'm not going to think too hard on it. We're going to take this action tile, which is a gold. I'm going to get 2 gold. Oops, didn't mean to scoot out. 2 gold, but I actually get +1 because of my tile here, which also gives me another victory point. And instead of upping this, I'm actually going to do the production side of it, which means I'm going to get everything that's to the left of this. So that's actually going to be a gold, a victory point, and 4 stone. So that's going to put me to 7, which means I actually have to move this cube here, which is going to move me up on the book track, which means I get a 2nd book. I'm getting a gold, and I'm getting 2 victory points, like I said, and then we got to take the top 3 of these. So these are also going to be passive abilities here. So this is, anytime I get an egg, I also get a victory point. A stone, this is, I believe, anytime that I'm building a building. Is it building a building with the cathedral icon versus not? Whenever you construct a building that does not have the indicated symbol. Yeah, I see. Well, I know that I'm going to be getting eggs. Like, I want to get eggs. Even though I know I'm also planning to build things. You're killing me, Smalls. Because I need that bump so bad. I need that bump. It's killing me. This is so expensive. I want to build all of these, to be perfectly honest. So if I do, what is going to be lucrative? I have to think about that. What's actually going to be lucrative right now? I'm trying to, if I were to build this, for example, I would want it probably in this plaza, right? Even though this plaza is easier to close out, but the next one he builds is going to go in here. And this is 2 for the 3 victory points. This is a difficult decision. trying to think ahead is not great. I think I'm going to take this. I don't know how many more of these buildings. I probably am going to want to produce more eggs, but we're going to go with my gut here, and we're just going to take these. We're going to move it along here. And I think that was everything, yes? I got all of the bonus perks and all the things. This goes here. Peter's going to go, and he is looking to build. And we know he is. I really wanted to build this, but it is what it is. Oh, he's going here. This doesn't have a thing on it, so it doesn't really matter where this goes, so I'm just going to place it there. It was 2, so he's going to go 1, 2. And he can't possibly build in this area, so he's just going to bump to the next one. It's not bad, actually, either. Okay. And then he is taking the second. Oh, look at that. So actually, now this is worth 3. We're actually one more rotation, and we're going into the final round here. So that's a little scary. I think I'm going to take this, though, because this is going to give me 2 stone, which will actually give me a window. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, right? Because I do have enough money to do things. I could do either one of these. And technically, I probably want to do this one. Okay, yeah, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this one. So this is going to give me 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting 2 stone, which means I have to remove this cube to get to the full 9, which is going to give me a golden window. I am definitely, at the end of what I'm about to do, going to cash these in for a bonus action. 100% that is happening. We're at that point in the game. And we are doing the build action for a building. And I think we're going to do, well, I guess technically, what's actually more lucrative, really, honestly, if we're being honest with ourselves? I think actually maybe this one, because then I'll have all these things I can cash in. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to build this bad boy, which is going to be 3 gold, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be 1 stone. Puts me at 8. And we want to, what am I really looking for? I think I'm going to put it here for my last 2 gold. Is that crazy? So that is going to give me another 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3, because I put it in that spot. And now I just need 1 more placed. And then this is all mine, because bloop, I have ownership over this plaza. How great is that? We need to move myself 1 to the right. That's the 5 victory points I was waiting to steal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this gives me a white window. Now, I'm not allowed to have more than 2 windows at the end of my turn, so I really got to spend these. We're going to spend it. So I am, let's start with spending these. These are giving me just a full extra action. I'm not considering this wheel. I'm just looking at what are the 6 available actions and doing them. And this needs refilled. So I am at a problem where I can't do another building action. Obviously, I could upgrade if I wanted to. I have more than enough money to get another wall out. So I kind of need to consider, is that something I want to do? This gives me an egg. Oh, I can't do this. It's in the special action. This gives me an egg, but I don't have a gold. This will give me another window. I really don't need that. This gives me a book and ups my thing twice, which is just ultimately like a good idea. I definitely want the book to go up. I do want to play that game for sure. So if I build the wall, that's not a bad call. And we know that a 4th wall is going to bump me up from 4 to 10 victory points at the end of the game. So that's not nothing. So that's a lot. plus bumping me up to the 3 spot. That's then 6 points for that shenanigans. I just want to make sure that there's not a better option. I'm actually thinking I'm probably not going to end up making it down the King's Road this game, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. I think that's the better option. I think we do a wall build action. 1, 2, 3. We're going to build this bad boy. And I don't really have an idea as to what is potentially coming. So I don't know where I should orient this, because there's a possibility that if I get like an upgrade tile that aligns, that would work. Otherwise, I have to think about where are maybe additional wall tiles going to go. Am I even going to build more wall tiles? Now that I built 4, I mean, it kind of feels like maybe I do two more. I don't know. Let's do that. Is that a bad idea? It probably doesn't matter. Because if I do that, I would have to like know that I was going to do something like that. I could do like here, right? But I don't think I'm going to upgrade that. So I don't think it matters. Chances are I'm going to build another wall. I think them's the facts. The facts of life. So our book is getting moved up 1. And did I forget? I just realized I just built this building and I never did this, did I? So I actually get another victory point and a stone because of that tile that I specifically chose knowing I was going to build things. Anyway, so I moved my book up and then this gets moved up twice, which I passed this, so I actually need to I'm going to take that. Because I think I'm going to end up probably doing at least one of these. I'd like to bump it up 1 more, though, so I get an egg. Okay, and then I think... Do I hold on to these windows in case I get a gold one? Or do I just spend it to bump myself up? Let's wait. We're going to hold on to those windows for now. And that's me. We're going into the last turn. There's 11 turns of the wheel remaining. So that means I'm getting either 5 or 6 turns left. I think because I'm a first player, I don't actually remember how to read this board. I'm getting 5 or 6. We're near the end, but Peter has to go. He is building again. Oops, I'm gonna remember this. Peter is building this. Peter is building there. Put one of his cubes on this. I wasn't planning to go to this anyway. Plus, these bonus tokens are going to be worth nothing to me because I haven't moved on the wall at all. And then this was $5. So he's going to move 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that actually wouldn't be horrible if he closes this out for me. Unless he... Well, that actually doesn't have a cube space on it. So, that could work out in my favor. And then he's taking the first. I think that's fine. All right. I could build another wall. I have more than enough stone. This would move me a little bit on this wall. If I could move 2. I mean, I'm not going to get a whole lot of points off the wall, but I could get a little some. This, I don't have any gold. You're killing me. Looking at my stuff. This would move my gold up to where I want it to move, though. So that then I could do a huge production action, which would give me 7 gold, 4 victory points, and an egg. Which is pretty good. But this is paired with the S, which would just give me an egg and 4 victory points. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these lined up to use on this corner. These cost the same. The question is, what is really more beneficial? So I guess, really, if we look at it, doing this action I'm building a wall either way. This gives me the upgrade so that then an additional action would give me 4 victory points, 6 gold, and an eggs. Versus this is building the wall, giving me the 4 victory points and an egg. I'm just not getting the 6. I think this might be better. Because then I can potentially do the road. I don't have enough actions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need four road actions to get to the very end here. And I don't know if that's worth my time. I don't know if that's the game I'm playing. I don't think that's the game I'm playing. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this. We're using the S to build this particular wall, which is going to be 3. This doesn't need to live anywhere special. I'm just going to throw it up here. And I guess I can have it rotated in a way that like maybe it would work. I don't know. Here, maybe I'll put it here just in case that like we can make magic happen there. And then I'm getting an egg and 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not doing horrible as far as like what I've been scoring in the game. I'm not doing great though. I'll tell you that right now. I would really like to get more of these. I really need to consider, I need to move further right and further up. There's a lot of things I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more wall is my goal to get the maximum out of the wall builds. That's a pretty good one too, but he's gonna take that from me. I can tell. Peter is upgrading. Oops. Move the cube. We don't care. Bloop. And he's moving his gold up. So his gold reached the maximum with the seal. So he's actually going to take the seal that would be turn in gold, and for each gold you turn in at the end of the game, you'll get 2 victory points for each. Which is fine, because I have been struggling to keep money on me anyway. I really need to consider, though, getting one more book. This action would actually get me this. Oh, Nelly. I think that's what I got to do. And then he's going to take the third. 1, 2, 3. So actually, I probably want to take this to do that production action I wanted to do anyway, right? Right? I mean, I don't really have a lot of options. I think that's unfortunately that's actually the better way to go right now. Which is fine. So yeah, so we're going to take this. I'm going to get a stone for my bonus, nothing special, and then we're going to do the full production. So that's going to be 6 gold and 4 victory points. I'm going to give myself the victory points first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not doing too bad, but I don't know. And then the 6 victory points, I'm going to have to pull this cube off to go all the way to 6, which is going to move my book up. Blam! Which is going to give me some good stuff. So this is that I get to produce stone and 2 gold. That's not amazing, because I don't know. I guess that's not horrible. This is move up 1 space on the cathedral or the hunger wall, and if you cross into the next tier, ignore the usual stone and gold costs. You know what? And then this is gain an egg and perform the action construct the king's road. Okay. All of these are actually decent. So what's really nice about Praga is that this game, the rules on timing of actions is basically whatever is going to benefit you the most, do it that way, which is really nice. And the reason I point that out is because I have these 2 windows. And if I turn these 2 in to bump myself up 1, then I can get the full use out of this, which allows me to get bumped up 1 more and not have to pay this cost. So that gives me 2 full bumps up, which is basically from 0 to 8 endgame points. And it gives me another bonus tile or token, which is great. And then if I were to get a couple more windows, that's like an instant bump up to the top here, which is amazing. Or even just one slide here gets me to where these tokens are going to be worth the full 4 amount if I get more of them, which I hopefully will somehow. So that's a way to go. However, I need to look at this situation. I'm getting a free egg and a free action. So I would go to this space, and then I would have the egg in which I could turn in to either get a gold window or a book. Now, moving the book up is not too shabby, because then I'm at 2 victory points on this hat here. That would be 10 victory points with the multiplication. It's not horrible. Plus, I'm 1 more book movement to getting that final tactile. That's pretty great. However, also, if I were to take the window, I have a silver window I can pair with that to get an extra action, which is huge. And I already have an egg, so my second action could be to boost myself up here, and I could then spend I could spend my egg to either get 2 more silver windows or to move myself up on both of these tracks, which is not horrible. I don't know if I'm going to end up making this to the max or not. Okay. I'm really excited by this. That ultimately is yielding me like 8 points for, like, technically it's yielding me 12 points with a bit faster growth potential moving on this bad boy. However, getting an extra action to just move along, but then I'm really incentivized to get to the end here, which I am anyway. Whew, this is crazy talk, I tell you. I'd probably want to build this, which would give me an egg, which I would probably end up wanting to put there, and that would just kill that extra window potential, which is fine. Oh man, this is nuts. I'm trying to assess. Playing the tape forward. Are these ultimately more beneficial? Or is the movement up that table more beneficial? Yikes. I feel like I'm going to... Getting extra actions is so good. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too much. I really want to take this. I'm going to go with my gut. And I'm going to take this. And we're going to hope I don't regret it later. So I am going to spend these 2 windows right now to move myself up. And then I'm activating this tile to get a move up for free on the thing without needing to pay this cost, which is going to give me another red bonus tile. And we're just sticking with that. And I think that was everything. And I'm going to hope that I didn't make a huge mistake. All right, this dude's building again, which is glorious, actually. Oh, I should have considered that, because this would have, if I had done the other thing with the book, it's fine. We're going to live our life. So he's taking this one, which I had considered would have been pretty good. And he's going to place it here. And this is, oh yeah, no, I'm good. And this completes this plaza, and I'm the only one with a cube. So I'm actually getting all of this. So I'm getting 4 victory points, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm getting a book move and a hat move. Bloop, bloop. 1 more. I just want 1 more. I very rarely, maybe if ever, I'm trying to think if I've even ever gotten to the 4 spot. I just never focus it. And then what he built was worth 3 total resources. So he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, that saves me from needing to do that. I think that was decent. And then he's going to take the second. Bloop. which means this is worth 2 victory points standing here. This is a way for me to get more eggs. However, I don't care about that. I think I want to maybe take this action, right? I know I still need to make a bridge. All right, sorry. I still need to build another wall. That's what we want to do, right? This isn't horrible. More victory points and hat movement up. If I could get it up to the top, that'd be sweet. This is an egg. And I could actually get a window and 2 victory points. Actually, would this align like I had planned? Oh, look at that. Oh my. That totally aligns like I had thought ahead. This might be the most lucrative. I think it's totally the most lucrative. I do realize that not taking the free bridge action meant that I didn't get 2 victory points there, but that's okay. I'm doing this. So I'm getting a gold, but I'm getting an extra gold and a victory point because of my tech tile. Remember. And we're going to build this. And doing the build wall action gives me another victory point. And this is going to give me an egg, which even if I don't spend them, they're worth victory points at the end of the game. So that's not like, they're not for nothing. And I can rotate it like this, which gives me another one of these, which makes me very happy. Gives me 2 victory points and a silver window. If I can just get a gold window, we're nailing it. And that was what I had taken. And that's it. Unfortunately, it's my turn. We are running out of time, people. He's going to do a wall. Oops. Which doesn't really matter. It's just eliminating the options. For me, he's going to move. He's going to take this last seal. Yeah, so he's taking the seal that is the equivalent to the gold one, but for stone. I wasn't going to go for those anyway, even though I now actually have a lot of gold, and that would have been lucrative for me. I don't know. Maybe that could pay off actually a lot, depending on where we stand. And then he is going to take the first tile, which is this one that was worth extra victory points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 rotations left. So I'm getting 3 more actions, I think, if I math this right. Yikes. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good. The wall, we're done here. I'm getting the max amount of points on the wall. I feel like we nailed that. I feel like we did a pretty good job. What we want to consider is, I think, really, how do we get this moving the most? And are we wanting to get this ball rolling? And a part of me is thinking we do. All the gold's up here. Okay, this is good. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with my gut. I'm not even gonna overanalyze, which one is wont to do when playing this game. I'm gonna take this action. It's gonna cost me a gold. Bloop. I'm gonna get a silver window. I know I was calling them white the whole time, but I mean, they're white. Even the production copy is. They're very white. And we're going to do a bridge action. That's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to move to the second part here, and I'm going to turn in one of them eggs. Bloop. And we are... Ooh, no. I mean, yeah. I'm pretty damn certain that I want to take the window. Pretty damn certain. But a part of me knows that if I move the book up, I'm going to get that. But there's a chance of me getting a free book movement later, depending on what I reach. So we're going to do that. We're going to turn in the egg for a gold window. And we're going to turn in gold window and silver window. Bloop, bloop, for a extra action. And you guessed it, we're going to do the bridge action. I just remembered also, taking the bridge action gives me 2 victory points. I did it off of here, and I'm doing it as the bonus, so that's actually 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have the option to either get 3 victory points for every single level 1 upgrade that I have, which is 2 level 1 upgrades, so I'd get 6 victory points. Or I can submit an egg to get 2 windows, or to upgrade each of my items once, which I don't think I care about. Getting more windows is fine. I'm going to have to spend it immediately, which is then going to bump me up, and I have the goods for that, and that's what I was considering. The only thing that's making me pause here is I could take the 6 victory points, save my egg, and then have the egg for up here, which is not nothing. But I think we're just going to trust. Are we going to trust? I don't know. I think we're going to trust that I have a way of getting an egg somehow. That seems sketchy. I'm looking at the spots for the bonuses here, and I don't think that there's a way I'm going to get another egg. But I do want this bump up. That would be so good. But maybe I save it. Maybe I save it. Oh, this is different. This is 13 victory points and one of these? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm playing, I didn't mention this, but so there's alternate versions of each of these steps. They're just pieces that you put on top. There's also alternate layouts for the bridge, and I'm not playing with them, but there's actually alternate pieces for the road as well. So there's a ton of variability, and I'm technically also playing on the advanced side for the action tiles where these symbols are mismatched, whereas if you play on the gold side, there's basically 2 of each of the tiles, and they're always the same pairing. I don't know if one is really easier than the other, but I've just been playing with the one that mixes things up. I think this kind of changes things, though. I think I go with my original gut. I'm gonna submit the egg to get 2 windows, both of which I just will immediately turn in, and that's gonna bump me up here, and that slides me up to the top. I need to spend a gold and 2 stone. Bum bum. And yeah, I think that's what we're doing with the turn. Not too shabby. So because I reached the top here, we're going to take a look at these bonus tiles and see if these are anything good. So this is at the end of the game, score points based on the row you achieved on the hunger wall. Okay, interesting. This is 3 points for each upgrade tile. This is 2 points for each wall tile. So we know I have 6, so that's another 12 points off of that. So it's 2 for, I see. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd get 10. I get 14 points off of the cathedral and hunger wall. That's kind of interesting. Well, I'm not making more of these. So technically this is not a whole lot more, but it's technically 2 extra points. So I'm going to take this, and this is going to be an end game scoring situation. And then those go back for the nobody that I'm playing with to choose. Okay, so Peter. Well, he can't move up anymore. He's already made it to the max. Oh, no. All right, so I have 2. Actually, do I even get 2 actions? No. I think this is my last action, because it'll rotate to here, and then he'll do his last action, and then I'm screwed. So what am I doing with my final action? Okay, well, it seems I'm not going up here, because I don't have an egg. I don't have a way of getting an egg. I don't know if that ended up being worthwhile. That's a lie. I have a way of getting an egg, but it's not paired with the bridge. Is there a way to get a golden window? This is a way to get a golden window. But those aren't paired with the... Yeah, this when you come into the last couple actions, suddenly you start scrounging around for the scraps left by whatever exists. So I'm not in a position to complete a plaza in any way, shape, or form that would give me a little extra something, which is fine. This would have been a viable option, I think. It would have kind of like come out as a waste, except it would have given me a window. It would have just kind of been me grasping for the ability to do an action that I can't actually get here. If I can do something that's going to bump me to the right, that is ultimately going to net me more points, though. I think that's what I'm kind of stuck with. I think I probably take this tile. Is there anything good here? Oh, well. Oh, snap. It's this one, isn't it? Because then that gives me the book. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I could... Is there a good spot I could put it? Not really. I mean, there's technically a chance that he could complete one of these, and if I had a claim, well, no. See, I'm thinking I'm going to do this one. That gives me a window, right? I do that, and I even bump myself up there. Yeah. But I want to bump myself to the right. Crap. What's my plan? Do I take the chance? So if I place this one, I could put it here for some extra points. I get a couple points off of it because that's what it's worth. Or I could put it like in this to get like 3 points. I'm getting a window. I'm getting a book. I don't know what the level 4 technology tiles look like is the problem. And I don't know if I want to make a make a Hail Mary on what could be kind of whatever versus like knowing that bumping myself to the right here is gonna... I guess we could do the math here, right? I'm gonna get basically each of these would be worth 1 more point, so that's 3, 4, 5. I guess ultimately five more points if I bump myself to the right. That's ultimately what that's giving me. That's fair. Whereas, depending on where I place this, that could be 2 points plus another 2 points if I put it here, with the possible chance of his last action being a building action. Oh no, he's not building in this plaza though. I'm getting my hopes up for a fantasy. He's building here, so that's never going to happen. But either way, I mean, I could still put it in one of these spots. Like, this is actually only 1 gold for 3 victory points. Why is that one cheaper than this one was? Whatever. And the window would let me bump up 1 more, which is another 4 points. I mean, this tile is winning, I think. So let's do it. Let's do that. So I'm going to get a victory point and a victory point. I'm at 55. That doesn't feel bad. And we're going to build, and I'm actually going to build this this tile here for 2 and 2. 1, 2. Oh, that's my last stone. I hope I don't need stone. And I think I think we just place it here because who cares? Yeah, I think we just place it here. And I'll get 1 victory point for the solitary thing. I know I could have gamed it for a little bit more, but I'm putting it here for the 3. 1, 2, 3. I got to spend my gold on that. Sorry, I'm doing this in a very poor order for learning things. I get a window. I got to move my book up, which is also netting me more points. I mean, yeah, this was way more points at the end of the day. And I'm getting a technology 4 tile. What do these do? Oh, I took too many. I'm going to put that one back. Oh, I probably didn't want to put that one back, did I? You know what? I'm gonna reshuffle these, and we're gonna try again. All right. So this is gain both rewards depicted on 1 plaza tile. Okay. This is build a building for -2 gold. Okay. And this is perform the action upgrade and gain a gold window. Okay. I don't think I care about building a building. Personally, this does technically get immediately. I don't think that I care about any of these that much. So I think it's between the. So I really need to look at these plazas. So I get both rewards on a plaza, which means like I could do this and move along plus get 3 gold if I wanted. I could get extra victory points. I don't really need the egg. I don't really need to. Well, I mean, this would move me up to where it's not quite 3. I don't think we're going to make it to there. That's totally fine. I'm fine with that. Or I could do an upgrade and I don't think that really matters. But a part of me is like, I should probably do this for the window. What would I do if I take a... That's the question. What would I do with an extra action? If I took this just to have the golden window, I can't do a bridge action because I don't have an egg that lets me do any of this. I don't have a way of getting an egg, unfortunately. And none of these can be placed in a way that would yield me anything useful. Because there's no like I would need to have an actual upgrade tile with one of these reds that would give me something. But otherwise, nothing else is lined up in a way that I can gain anything. So really it is, do I want a gold window to take an extra action? And if I did, what would the action be? And honestly, I'm not sure. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I guess there's no... I have 3 gold. There's no reason for me not to do any of these. I'm thinking... I probably want the book to go up, though. Here's what I'm thinking. So technically, if I take one of these tiles that lets me put a claim cube on it, I can put it like over here or somewhere. I can put it in a plaza that hasn't been completed. And at the end of the game, we do look at all of the plazas that haven't been completed, and we look at who has the majority, and they get, I think, just the bottom is kind of the bummer. I'm actually going to double check. Any plaza that was not enclosed will give out rewards this time. Every player with a claim on the plaza will get the reward depicted in the lower half. Yeah. So, I mean, I could technically look at, is there a lower half that's worth taking? And they're not really. I mean, they're mostly victory points. But this would, I mean, I think ultimately it feels bad, but I think that that's what I do. That yields the same. I think I'm taking this one. And I'm going to build... Is that... Yeah, that's worth more points. I'm going to take this. I think... Sorry. I'm so sorry. We know that this bumping over, it yields 5. Moving my book up turns it from 12 to 14. So maybe I actually do take I'll take this one, which will be only 1 gold. And we will put this somewhere that I want the bottom bonus at the end of the game. Which, as far as the plazas that remain, I think honestly we just do this. Which is going to be an extra gold, right? It was 1 gold for a victory point, which is totally fine. And that's going to move my this dude up, and then that's also, where did it go? Moving me to the right, which gives me 2 more victory points. Blam. And that's my turn. And then Peter goes and he does this building, which doesn't really matter, is being placed here with a claim that could potentially matter at the end of the day. And then he technically moves 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the game. That is the game. I'm obviously going to throw these windows out real quick to boost myself up here for 1 gold. Oh no, I don't have a stout. I guess I'm not. I'm not spending those windows. Damn. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so let's do end game scoring. So I didn't do horrible. Oops. I'm at 62 to start. That's not the worst. I've done better. The question is going to be, what's my yield in the end game? I need to score like 80 points to technically do successful solo game. So to start, and we'll basically use this sheet here, we will look at any of the plazas that did not get fully enclosed, and anybody that has a cube in there gets the bottom. Obviously, we don't care about solo friend here. Excuse me, I purposely put this here. That's going to give me a couple extra victory points, and it does give me a blue bonus token that is not going to be worth anything, but that's okay. And then we're going to look at what was our hat plus books. I'm at 6. That's times 2, so that's going to be 12. Oh, goodness, where am I? So we're going to 66 or 76. And then we're going to look at what's the happy hap with the cathedrals. So the hunger wall, I'm at 4, so that's going to put me at a straight 80. And I was in the far column, so this 1 blue that I got at the last minute is worth nothing. And then we're going to look at this. I have 13 points here, so we got to go to 93. And every one of my bonus tokens are worth 3. So that's 3, 6, 9. That's not horrible. So that puts me at 102. All right. And then we got this little guy. And this is going to give me 2 points for each row that I am in on these. So I have row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically. 7 rows, right? No, that's not how it works. Don't cheat. So this is 1, 2. So this is 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 10 victory points. So 116. We're doing okay, actually. And then we look at the wall. We know that I got 18 points on the wall. So we're going to go to what's math? I go to 16 plus, what am I doing? 16 plus 18? I'm an idiot. Which is 34. Oh, hot damn. And then I don't have any eggs, and I didn't get any of these seals. So I think actually that's my final score is 134. And if I check the solo scoring, we think over 140 points is a good score. That's for the Peter Parler solo variant, and that's just for the playing by yourself. So I was really close, actually. I was really close, and I would guarantee that there is at least 1 or 2 turns in there in which I did something that was suboptimal and would have given me um, what I needed. But I think this is probably the best game I've played, and I did some really different things in this game than what I've done before. Like I've never gotten both of these cubes this high before. I've never actually gone full out on the walls before, and um, I usually at least claim 1 seal. So I mean, yeah, it was just a very interesting game. I got to play it completely differently, and that's what's great about this game is it plays completely differently each time. You just kind of go, you know what? What if I just did like these actions mostly, and that can turn into something really interesting. Like, what if you were to max this out and then just do the production over and over again, yielding yourself 4 victory points and an egg just repeatedly over and over and over. That's something you could do and is probably fairly lucrative. But the game has its intricacies in just the right places that you can't solely do like 2 or 3 of these actions nonstop. You're always going to have to pivot every now and then to something else to either, get yourself obviously, more good here, or at least try to get yourself more claim in another area, or I don't know. There's just a million different things to kind of keep track of and look at. But I think it's a great game. I think it's very enjoyable, and I was worried that it was a game that wouldn't play very well at multiple player counts, but it actually plays just as fast. Like this game would have taken this long with another player or two, honestly, or maybe like I don't know, maybe another 10 minutes. Maybe it plays really quick, especially when people know what they're doing, and you saw some of the turns are just taking this, doing that, and I'm done. Moving on, right? So yeah, very cool. I enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you have a chance to pick this up that you do, because I think it's worth it. Um, Also, the Tabletop Simulator mod is approved by the game company, so definitely give it a try. It's completely automated. It has like a setup for 2, 3, 4 player button and alternate things and all you want to do there. I just kind of reorganized everything to make it easier to see, but a lot of this stuff is spread out along the bottom edge or whatever. But that's Praga. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day.